waliwo abatambuza olugambo nti oyo Mao oluvannyuma lw'okuwangula akalulu k'obwa MP yalangiridde mu butongole nti agenda kwesimbawo ku kifo ky'obwa sipiika. Olwo lugambo sinaba kulangirira, naye oluvannyuma lw'okuwangula akalulu ka Parliament nafunye amasimu mangi era nasomye ebintu bingi ku mikutu egy'enjawulo ng'abantu balaga ennyonta nga balaba nti omuntu nga Nobert Mao singa afuuka sipiika n'abeera nga yakubiriza Parliament. Ndowooza ekyo kyesigamye ku nsonga ezitali zimu. Ekisooka, olw'okubanga nali mukwano w'omugenzi Oulanya, kitegeeza mbajjukiza buli lwe bandaba balowooza nti osanga asobola okukola ng'oli bwe yatusuubiza, naye nga mukimanyi nti siri Jacob Oulanya, nze Nobert Mao, naye nga ennyonta eyo weeri. Abamu baagala Parliament ng'ekitongole ebeere n'obuyinza, so si muntu okubeera n'obuyinza. Ekirala, abamu batandise okutambuza olugambo olwo okusiikuula entalo, naye nga mukimanyi nti tulina enkolagana wakati wa DP ne NRM, ate mukimanyi nti sipiika alina okuva mu kibiina ekisinza ba MP, naye olw'enkolagana eyo kitegeeza DP esobola okufuna obuwagizi okuva mu NRM. Ekyo nakyo kisoboka. Kati tukyali mu kuteesa okulaba oba enkolagana yaffe yeeyongerayo mu maaso. N'ekirala, kusinziira ku mateeka ga Uganda, ebisaanizo mbirina. Waliwo ebintu ebirala by'oteekwa okubeera nabyo. Kusookera ddala, omusomo oteekwa okuba nga wasoma. Ekyokubiri, olina okubeera n'obukugu obumu. Ekyokusatu, olina okuba nga owangaddeko, olina experience. Ekyokuna, ng'olina b'omanyi mu Uganda n'ebweru wa Uganda, ate nga abakumanyi bali mu Uganda n'ebweru. Olina connections. Ebisaanizo byombirina. Kati nkyali mu kwebuuza ku bantu bemmanyi, naye nga ababaka bangi nnyo abalondeddwa bankubira amasimu nga bagamba jangu tujja kuwagira, naye nga siri muntu amala gafubutuka amala gabuguumirira. Mujjukire nti n'ekyokwesimbawo ku kifo kya Parliament nasooka kwebuuza ku bannange, neneebuuza ne ku bakulu abamu nga sinavaayo. Mujja kulaba bulabi mulabe nti Mao kati afungizza asituse. Olwo lwe munaategeera nti kati ali mu lutabaalo kuba ebisaaniizo abirina, naye nga nina okwebuuza ku bannaffe naddala aba NRM naye nga ennyonta yo weeri Abannayuganda bo baagala kulaba ebintu ebimu bisobole okukyukako mu lukiiko olukulu olwa Palamenti. Mujjukire nti omugenzi Oulanya singa abadde mulamu, singa ye speaker, era singa afuna n'ekisanja kino okusinziira ku NRM engeri gyekolamu, era ku lunaku lwe yafa twali Seattle, mujjukira twagendayo ne Chief Justice ne Speaker. Nagenda ne ndaba Speaker ne mugamba nti munnaffe afudde, kati gw'oliwo gw'obadde mumyuka we wandibadde ofuuka Speaker 231 naye Katonda asazeewo tyojjuze kino ekifo. Genda n'obuwombeefu era weebaze Mukama omanye nti ye yakikoze. Bw'atyo n'afuuka Speaker. Kati omupiira guzzeeyo makati mu kisaawe, waliwo omuzannyo omupya. Abalonda Speaker beba MP. Ate mu secret ballot kati nze nga Mao ayina ababaka 6. Waliwo abantuukiridde abava mu bibiina ebirala. Naye nkyali mu kwebuuza ku bantu abalala. Siyinza kugaana kuweereza ggwanga lyange. Naddala mu kaseera nga kano nga tuli mu mayengo ng'eggwanga. Eryato lya Uganda lyetaaga omukono oguli steady. Eyo enkasi nsobola ogikwata naddala mu mayengo gano. Naye nga sinagikwata, abantu abagenda okutuula mu lyato balina okukaanya nange. Ndowooza nsobodde okwanukula. And I want to be very, very truthful. Because in DP, people lie about us, but for us, we don't tell lies. There has been rumors flying around that I have ambitions to be Speaker. Now, between President and Speaker, which position is more powerful? Now, you all know that I have ambitions to be President of Uganda. And I've even stood for it. And I even keep repeating that I have not abandoned my presidential ambition. And I want to state here that my main goal is to lead Uganda, because I think I have the unique combination of qualities that can unify this country. Because I myself am Uganda made simple. I studied in the East, grew up here in Central. My mother is from the West, my father is from the North. I'm probably the only prospective president who speaks fluently Bantu languages and Nilotic languages, bridging the North-South divide. Why would Ugandans want to miss that opportunity? Somebody who can go to Isinjiro and say, I'm going home. Somebody who can go to Gulu and say, I'm going home. Now, even before my father died, he had found for us another mother from Teso. Because when our mom died, my father found for us another mother from Serere. So now I go to Serere and I'm at home. I go to Busoga and I'm at home. Here in Buganda, they are my in-laws. The other day you heard the Katikiro saying, now I'm his father. Because he said that my wife is his mother. So if now I'm the husband of your mother, then I'm your father. Anyway, jokes aside, he said that because his mother is from the Ngabi clan, where my wife comes from. So, I'm a pragmatic nationalist. I have nobody's blood on my hands. For all the things I'm accused of. You know, when I read the attacks on Twitter and other social media, and I ask myself, do these Ugandans even know what they want? DP wants to offer a bridge to the future for Ugandans. And it's up to Ugandans to either accept it or start again these snakes and ladders. So, now you know my main ambition. The idea of the speakership race has been in the media. Somebody picked a photo that was based on a screenshot of an NTV news item that Mao has won the La Peche. And then also another one from NBS. And then they said Mao has declared his intention to contest for the position of speaker. Then they said this will be the hottest race. I can assure you, I'm not the source of that kind of thing. I've never been afraid to announce any position I'm interested in. But there's a lot of goodwill whenever my name is mentioned in relation to that position of speaker. I feel it when I move on the streets, and the Democratic Party cannot ignore that goodwill, and neither can I ignore that goodwill. Because when people meet you and they say, Osanide, and these are people who have previously been actually attacking me. I'm meeting people from groups that have been very hostile to me, and they are all of a sudden saying, we need to talk, we need to talk. I think there are a number of reasons. You do remember that despite Ugandans being stubborn, but they also can recognize certain qualities when they choose it. When the late Olanya died, I remember Andrew Mwenda said, somebody should resign their parliamentary seat so that Mao can go to parliament in a by-election. Now, there is a hunger in the country for a more accountable parliament. Now, whether I can fulfill that hunger is another matter. But that nyonta is there. There is that thirst. I think citizens want a people's house. People remember the unfinished term of the late Jacob Olanya, who by accident happened to have been my very close friend, of course. So somehow I'm the nearest to him. I'm the one who reminds them the most of him. I'm not him, of course. I'm not, and I'll never be. But sometimes you may have a person who reminds you of someone. And that has put me in direct conflict with people who believe in ring fencing positions. But I'm not the one to blame for citizens saying Mao should be speaker. I've not even said anything about that position. But there's this outpouring of goodwill by people who want Parliament to have institutional power as opposed to personal power. So what am I doing about this goodwill? I think that's what you need to know. Number one, I qualify. Actually, that position is open to any MP. So I have the minimum qualification. Now, apart from the minimum qualification, people look at the education of a speaker. They look at the experience of somebody who should be a speaker. They look at the skills, the special skills that a speaker should have. Then, of course, you look at the connections, local and international. Those are all attributes. Now, a speaker must belong to the parliament, not to anybody else. Because that's why they say the Speaker of Parliament. So the Speaker heads an organ. The day that Jacob Olanya died, we were in Seattle with the current Speaker. I went to her hotel room because we were staying in the same hotel. So I told her, you are the Deputy Speaker. According to the rules of Parliament, if the position of Speaker is vacant, there can be no other business apart from election of Speaker. So I told her, by God's grace, you are going to ascend to that position. Go there with all humility, knowing that in normal times, but for the death of the Speaker, you would be Speaker in 2031. Now the clock has been brought forward. But go for it, because you are the deputy. As we went into the campaigns, the rumors started flying. First, people said, why do you think Mao is going back to Parliament? They don't assume that I can also be an MP. They want to know why I am going back to Parliament. Then they say, but you know NRM and DP are in partnership. So NRM can support a DP candidate for Speaker, the way they supported our candidate for Iyala. Then those who wanted to cause more turmoil started spreading rumors that I have actually decided to contest for position of Speaker. I want you to know that we even had a conversation about that with the Speaker. And I told her that if ever the time has come for me to make that announcement, I'll do it myself. The moment Member of Parliament elect, I started getting calls from many of the elected members of Parliament. urging me to contest for the position of Speaker. So what does an intelligent person do? Because the NRM has the majority of members of Parliament. And it is only natural that the majority party should provide the Speaker. So right now, I'm carrying out consultations about that prospect. And we will also meet the leadership of the NRM, including the president, and talk openly about it. After all, everything we are doing is for Uganda. You are a speaker of Uganda, you are not a speaker for yourself. Fortunately, where I come from, we also gave the president serious votes. More than 80% on average. So this time we have a claim on the political cake. There's the national cake, which means roads, bridges, electricity, schools, health facilities. That is they call it the national cake. Whether you have voted for the winner or not, you are entitled to it. But the political cake is based on how many votes you brought. And this time, in where I come from, the vote jumped from 44% to over 80%. And I was instrumental in shaping that narrative. I have always been the one scattering the president's votes in that area. This time I was the one gathering it. So I'm sure he will also take that into consideration as we carry out our consultations. And so the decision of who will be Speaker is highly political, and there are many interested parties. So I continue with the consultations. A day is a very long time in politics. We are still in today is the 3rd of February. The elections are in May. So nobody should take anything for granted. Even me, I cannot take anything for granted. The Baganda say, "Chotanalia toche sunga." So I cannot claim this or that, but I can only claim that we must put the national interest first. But also we must not tear apart the country because of a position. I can repeat what I've said in Luganda.